Hey, how's it going, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Just hanging out, waiting for a minute. Let the chat populate. Just tweeting out some stuff. How do I sound? I added a an EQ because I listened back to my my stream that I did the other day, and I was like, "Whoa, this sounds awful." So I realized that the audio that you were hearing from my mic is just pure. It was just raw audio. There was no EQ or anything on it. So I added some EQ. Hopefully, I sound a little bit better, maybe a little bit more natural. All right, so looks like everybody's doing pretty good. That's good, good. We're gonna do some more work on the map that I started on Sunday, so we're gonna get into that in just a moment. Seeing lots of familiar names here. Good, I'm glad you guys are all doing well. We made it halfway through the week. We're almost there to the weekend once again, which is nice. I'm gonna go ahead and transition over. And we can get going. Hopefully we don't have any technical problems like we did last time. I'm gonna keep an eye on the stream health again. Looks like it's doing good so far, which is always good. And I'm gonna do my best to keep my mic out of my face. So hopefully down here works, like at least halfway decently. Alright, so we got 49 people. I think we can get going. I'm gonna cross over to the game here. And I hate this, that my chat is over here, and then my camera's over here, and my game is over here. It's just a lot, it's weird. I'm used to having it the other way around. I've been saying this because it's very, very strange. Midwestern 261. Changed your name. Cool. Alright, so I guess to get going, how's the music? I didn't change anything, so it should be fine. I don't know why I ask this every single time. I guess because my audio setup isn't right. I'm trying to save some money for a new audio setup because it's the one I have is kind of like what do you call it? It's kind of jerry-rigged. It's not really real. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys what I did over the past couple of days since last stream. I didn't get a whole lot done. I think I only worked on it maybe a little bit Monday night or Tuesday morning, I can't remember. Basically, I came down this way and I added a park, or I started to add a park. Basically, the last thing I think that we were working on Sunday was the scrapyard here. So I went ahead and tried to fill in this, some of the space a little bit more. And then began to work on this park. And I really am digging the way that it looks, the structure of it and everything like that. So I was trying to figure out like how I'm gonna transition from this big downtown scene into this sort of suburban sort of thing. So I figured maybe like a nice park would work. And I might have went a little bit too crazy with some of the details. I am gonna add a baseball field over here as well. Mitchell DeVillers, welcome. Saying they're new here. Welcome. So this is a fictional route. If you haven't seen this yet, we started working on it. I started working on it last Friday, and streamed it for the first time Sunday night. So it's fictional, but it's loosely based. Well, I shouldn't say it's not. It's not even based on anything. It's inspired by the Catskill Mountain Branch in Ulster County, which is my hometown railroad. They're running a tourist operation out there, but this is kind of loosely based on the idea of maybe if the line was reactivated for freight operations sometime in the 90s. So the look that I'm going for is sort of an abandoned look. Well, it's a very abandoned look. It's not sort of an abandoned look. The idea being that this was a once thriving rail line. Maybe it was owned by New York Central, maybe another railroad prior to that. And over the years, there was a lot of decline during Penn Central days, obviously, because that's when everything kind of got bad. The railroad declined and it went out of business. Is this light flashing? Oh, look at that. The TRC that must be a bug. Oh wait, am I in driver mode? No, what is going on here? This is really weird. The crossing is activated right now in Surveyor and the cars are stopped. That is really, really weird. Anyway, so the idea behind this is this line that had a heyday at one point and then was deactivated. Wow, that is so weird. I didn't know that this was possible. So it was then deactivated. A lot of the industries went under, and then sometime later on was reactivated, and that's where we are now. Wow, that is so bizarre that that worked in surveyor mode. We're gonna do something with these roads today too. I'm gonna try an experiment. We're gonna do an experiment together. So a lot of the themes that I'm using here to illustrate that it's been deactivated and then reactivated is a lot of abandoned track. So we've got an abandoned industry going back this way. We've got some additional abandoned track through here, 2 tracks. There's actually 2 tracks hidden in here. The idea being that maybe this was a much larger yard at one time, or maybe there was a passenger terminal or something like that around here. So lots of abandoned tracks. Even the crossing here has an extra track that's not connected, and the signals are a little bit further ahead. It's very overgrown. Ballast is over, piling up over the tracks, that sort of thing. I also have this scene down here. I'm gonna try not to move around too much because I was watching the playback from the stream the other night, and I gotta be more cognizant of that because the more I move around, the more pixelated it becomes on YouTube. So I apologize for that. I'm gonna try to be better about that. So one of the major themes that I was trying to go for to illustrate that was this activated track here, or this mainline track, double track here. Maybe CSX owns it, Norfolk Southern. Still active, and then this is the track that came off, and the area this line was deactivated long enough that this building was able to pop up and this parking lot was built, and the tracks were paved over because they assumed that the line was never going to be used again. And maybe the short line railroad has bought the tracks. They needed the crossing to be reinstalled and everything, so they dug up the tracks, and they now pass through a parking lot. We also have a double track. These are 2 tracks right here that used to be a diamond interchange or diamond crossing. Obviously that is completely disconnected. This area is not going to be connected at all. And I guess that's kind of the major themes there. It's going to be small operations, maybe 8, 10, 12 car long trains, with about half a dozen industries. And this is it. This is the interchange yard. This is the main yard where all the action is going to be. The railroad, whatever railroad, the name, I came up with the name, the Drybrook and Esopus Valley Railroad. And that has to do with kind of where I've got a cabin down in the Catskills, and it's kind of in that area. So it kind of picks up some of those names, the local names. And since that region is inspiring this route, I figured I would kind of stick with that. So the Drybrook and Esopus Valley Railroad, unless I come up with something better, I think is gonna be what it is. So, yeah. Anyway, I mean, we've got basically 2 tracks because you're gonna have this track doesn't have a runaround, so this is more of a storage track. I imagine the engines being parked here for servicing or maintenance of way, maybe a flat car with some ties on it since they're trying to rehab the track still. Parked in here. So essentially operations, you would have your interchange train would come in, drop off a cut of cars maybe on this track or on this track, and then exit out either on this one or this one. And then we would come over on our short line engine and grab the cars, and hopefully anything that needed to go out was already cleared out of the way. We have a room to run around, and then we could go switch away. So that's the idea, the storyline behind it. If you guys weren't with us last time, but I guess in a nutshell, that's that. So I'm gonna take a peek at the chat for a moment here. So yeah, work in progress kind of dealio. See lots of new names out there. Adam Jenkins, what's up? What's up, Ashley? Minecraft 2004, what's up? All right, so cool. We got lots of people here. 71 people watching. Pretty good. All right, so with that in mind, I have a few things that I want to do tonight. So I'm probably gonna be streaming for like 2 hours or so. So we'll keep that in mind. But what I would like to do is I want to finish this park a bit. I want to get this baseball field in here, and I want to maybe start transitioning into the suburban sort of neighborhoods that are going to exist over here. And I want to, yeah, I want to finish off this park because it's not quite there yet. But first thing I want to do, just to see how this is going to work, is I want to do an experiment with these roads. And I saw one of the guys in JR, Felix, he was working on a route. And I don't think he shared any screenshots of it or anything like that. I've seen the screenshots in our inner circle, jointed rail inner circle that we share stuff with, but it kind of inspired me to try this. What he was doing was, instead of actually using regular roads like this, is he was laying down asphalt texture and then using these splines that I believe he made. Let me find them here. So he made these road marking splines. That's actually what I'm using here, these yellow ones. But there's actually other versions. So we'll take a look at that, and I want to see. So here's what I'm talking about. So we got a double yellow line. So we could just put that down anywhere that we like on asphalt. And then there's also the white lines, 2 different thicknesses, and same thing with the yellow. And in fact, that's what I used over here as well to make this sort of like no parking zone sort of deal. So what I want to do is I want to try that out, because I'm not sure if I'm totally sold on these roads, and especially that they have traffic on them. I'd like to have parked cars like on the side of the road. So let's just see how this works, and if it works out nicely, we might try it in some other areas. I'm not sure how I would do it. I guess I'll just try it here. No, let's not try it there. Let's try it on this road. Let's delete that road. And we're gonna take our texture. And let's just see if it even like looks good. It might not look good. It might not work. Like I said, it's just an experiment. If it looks good, I mean, the other reason that I want to try this is for these intersections too. Oh, you know what? Let's not do this. I want to undo this. I don't want to do this entire road. Or no, it ends right there. The reason being because these intersections are kind of wonky, and I'm not sure if there's. I would just want to see if there's a better way to deal with it. Just because like when you have roads crossing each other, you get the Z clipping, or you get these kind of like weird texture values and stuff like that, where certain parts of the road are kind of sticking up over other parts. And I don't know. I just want to try and avoid that and see if that works. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But I need to know. And you know, like this too, like this road here. Because if I could do that with all the side roads and stuff like that, it might look a lot better. So let's see. Not to mention, like where the road goes into the parking lot and stuff like that. Might be, the transition would be a little bit smoother, I think. So I don't know. Maybe it won't work, but I figured it is worth a shot. Let's try it. I guess what's going to be challenging about it, the most challenging thing is going to be keeping it centered. I already like the way it looks, to be honest with you. So let's see. I guess if I just square up the spline point, right? Do something like that. I mean, already right off the bat, I like the way that looks a lot better. Because now, check this out. Now what we could do is use these other pavement markings a little bit more easily. Like the stop. Yeah, here we go. Like these things. Oh, that's a spline. That's not what I wanted. Like this. Because this sits flat on the ground. Well, it's supposed to. This one's floating. But you can adjust it. So let me get rid of that. The one that I want, I thought there was like, maybe it's just called marking. Or asphalt marking or something like that. Yeah, these that say stop. Oh, that was the one I just had. stuff like this applies a little bit better to a flat ground than on a road because of the angle of it. So I don't believe this is floating, but it's hard to tell. Let's move this into the light. There is a little shadow. So that might work. Not that I need this here, but I'm just trying to see what it looks like. I move this at 0.5. I thought this was all level too. It must not be. Oh, yeah, it's not level. Anyway, if this was level, it would look like it's lying flat on the ground. So, but let's see. So what's also nice about this, if we do it this way, is that we can start adding these cracks in the road and stuff like that, and even something like that, like a manhole cover. I don't know if there's a better way to, no. Well, anyway, or a drain or whatever you would call that. Let me try to level this out a little bit. Well, that, and then we can add, oops, we can do stuff like this. And this. Let's rotate this texture this way. There we go. So we could put these big cracks across the road. Like that. And you guys, you know me. If you've been watching me long enough, you know. I love these textures. Look at that, man. I like that a lot. And then when we start adding like parked cars and other like line side details and stuff like that, I think that's gonna look really good. Let's see. I do look at the chat. I was in the zone there for a minute, so I'm gonna peek back and catch up for a second. I usually do glance over and try to see what you guys are saying. If you have, if you're really trying to get my attention, you could use the @ command and @ me, and then I see like a red thing go past my face. But please don't abuse that. All right, so. All right, seems like the consensus is that's kind of cool. So that's gonna come down to kind of keeping the road sort of level enough, I think. Which I don't think will be a problem. And then, you know, we could even do things like this too. Let's see what this looks like. No, I don't need to know this. So we could even then add the white line in areas that we want it. Yeah, Adam Jenkins, I see you there. Good test, as we would say in the film industry. Good test. Yeah, so we can do stuff like that. And now let's test what. Let's do this road too. All right, so those are the thicker ones. Wow. Oh, am I not holding down shift? Sometimes I can't. This big microphone, I can't see my keyboard. So we could do things like this that are a little bit more detailed for the roads. I'm not gonna do this with every single road because that's just would be way too time consuming. But it does add a nice effect for the roads that we do want. And then if we do want to add traffic, Felix also made these, which I honestly, I don't know if they're available anywhere, like on the download station, or if it's just beta for JR guys, but these are like invisible roads. So I'll see if I can demonstrate. This is 8 miles per hour. Maybe we don't want to use that one. Let's try 35. The thing is, I think you need to actually connect it to a road to actually get traffic on it. But in theory, that will work. Oh man, now you guys, I said not to abuse the tagging me thing. You guys are just gonna abuse it. Do you want me to get any work done or just keep looking at the chat? All right, so that's that. What I want to see is maybe what this looks like in here, like at an intersection. But now that I'm thinking about it, oh wait, it's Unreal is here. It's Unreal. I'm turning you into a mod. You're a mod on my my Discord. Wait, your name's got to come back. All right, there you go. All right, anyway. So I guess now that it just dawned on me though, like what how would we deal with that when we got to a grade crossing is the next thing I'm not sure about. Intersection wise, that's fine, but when it comes to the crossings, that would be a little bit complicated, I would think. I'm just trying to think if it's worth it to do this or not now that I'm thinking about it. All right, well, conundrum. Because alternatively, the only other thing that I would think is that if we turned this crossroad as well into the same sort of style, or if we didn't, rather, we've got this like shoulder sticking up here. I wonder if there's a way to lower this a little bit. I'm just curious if it's possible to lower it enough to just lose that gravel shoulder. That might work. Or we connect it within an invisible road. Possibly. That might be the way to do it. Anyway, I guess I don't want to mess with that too much longer because I could do that off camera. And it's something to consider, I guess, going forward with some of these other roads. So yeah, I copied and pasted some other buildings here too. I gotta move them because for whatever reason, copy and paste just, likes to snap to arbitrary points. So you can't do anything about it. But at least it helps me so I don't have to like sit there and rotate all these objects. But anyway, let's try to get cranking here, see if I can get into the zone. As I said, I want to finish off this park, and I think I'd like to try to complete some of the scenes over here in the void. I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do for the far background down there and over here, but that's something I'll do off camera because that's kind of boring. But yeah, if we can get some work done and progress down the line a little bit, that would be ideal. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna start over here, and I think it's so hard for me. I'm like detailing this scene over here, and I'm like, why am I detailing, putting so much detail into this park scene over here? Because it's just another background scene basically. But it's something that I think would be a really cool view from over here. Once we get some city buildings and stuff in the background, to see the train go this way, or vice versa, to kind of be over here and see the train go through here with this nice background. So I don't know, it adds a little bit of, for me, it adds some life to it. That's what this is all about, trying to make something feel like a real place when it's actually not a real place at all. So let's see, we're gonna put a parking lot over here. So my idea with this park was that maybe like at some point, because this is an industrial area, it began to gentrify a little bit, and maybe there was a huge factory here that got demolished, and they were like, hey, what do we do with this space? Hey, let's turn it into a park. So that's that. Oh man, my back hurts so much. That's kind of like my my backstory there. I saw somebody had a good question in the chat there. How do I get my ideas and make them a reality? You can't commit yourself to doing it because you can't pull yourself into it. I mean, for me, I'm looking at different things that I see like in real life, like this whole park, the skate park, the way that the basketball hoops are laid out, and the tennis courts, and this picnic area, and more basketball nets and stuff down here. This is like from my experience when I was living down in New York City, and you'd have like a small park in an industrial area. So I don't know, once I get an idea in my head, I just start laying out assets, and then as I'm putting stuff down, you know, as I'm laying down these tennis courts, I'm like, what else could I put here? Oh, basketball nets, you know, that makes sense. And then I go on the download station and see what's there. What else do I need to make this look real? How about some benches, you know? And to me, I just go right down this rabbit hole of how can I make this look more real? And I'm not even thinking about, I think a lot of people get kind of lost with running the trains. And it happens to me too, where you get a couple you get your track down, and that's the first thing everybody goes for. You get your track down, and as soon as the track is down, you want to run some trains. And then as soon as trains are running and you're switching stuff around, you don't commit yourself to ever going back and finishing any scenery or anything like that, because you've got trains running, and that's really what you're doing. But for me, I enjoy running the trains, but it's not the end-all be-all for me. Oh, we have a problem. There we go. It's part of the fun. Building everything is part of the fun. Is more fun to me than anything, and recreating something out of reality is what I find the most enjoyable. So I don't know how I stay focused on it, because I'm really not a very focused person. Believe it or not, I have a really hard time staying focused on most things. So I don't know how I stay focused on something. It's just, for me, once I get going on it, I'm like, oh, this is great. I want to make it more great. How can I make it more great? I start thinking of all these things that I could do. I don't want to see what other splines are here, because it dawned on me that I haven't looked at any of these. Will I ever do a British route? That's pretty unlikely. I mean, maybe I'll do it as a build challenge one day, but I don't know anything about... I barely know anything about American railroads, let alone British railroads, so... I doubt I'll do anything British. Maybe, like I said, as a build challenge, it might be fun to do. But that's going to be like if I have a track plan and everything is already outlined for me, because I don't know anything about any of that stuff. So short answer is probably most likely not. What are we looking for? I'm just trying to see what other assets are here, if there's any... These are trees. If there's any like shrub sort of mixture type stuff. This is all like crazy. This is too much. Too much, too much, too much, too much. That's grass. Am I using new assets on this route? Yeah, these are all new assets. A lot of them were found in the Tidewater Point content pack. And some of them may be, as of yet, unreleased jointed rail content. So, and I say as of yet unreleased, it's just because it's all beta or whatever. And we like to test other people's, or we like to test each other's things, assets. So these are like varying thicknesses and widths of grass. I'm looking for a grass and shrub mixture. These grasses and shrubs are from the download station. This is TB, they're TB assets. It's another, I believe it's another foreign thing like the STRMM trees. There's a whole bunch of billboard grass and billboard trees. That's a nice, I'm gonna keep that. Which look really good. I'm not totally sold on the trees. I mean, they're good for background stuff, but you guys know me. Like, I like using the 3D trees up front and then the flat trees for the background. I think is the way to go. Best way to save whatever frames you can. Whoa. So some of these, and these are all seasonal as well. All these grasses, these TB grasses and shrubs and stuff are all seasonal. But not everything I'm using on this map is seasonal, so I probably should have thought about that maybe a little bit more. 6. Because it would be cool to do like a fully seasonal route. Like I think Tidewater is totally seasonal. That's nice. TB path. So lots of variety in there, which is cool. So I think, so yeah, like this shrub asset here, or this shrub spline is definitely gonna be useful. So I'm gonna save that one. And so is this one. Just trying to add everything to my pick lists here so I don't forget about it, because it's very easy to do. But usually, for the most part, I try to avoid using spline shrubs and spline grasses and stuff like that, especially when I'm using other splines, like this fence and then the sidewalk are also splines, so it just because of how the game gets really irritated at you, and it makes that stupid noise and puts up that stupid message that's completely unnecessary to tell me, like, this spline cannot connect to this spline. It's like, all right, I get it. So we got to do is make an opening here. And I think that put the spline point on that, yeah. So we'll do, I'm not going to put, I mean, maybe I should. Just for the sake of continuity, I guess. I put these bollards over here too. So not totally necessary to include on the back side here, because you're not really going to see it too much, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm just lining them up with, it's not going to be perfect, but just lining them up with like the cracks or something like that, just so I have something to keep them even. They have some kind of even spacing. Obviously, you're not going to perform any real function other than aesthetics. And it's really sheerly for the background, so that's good. That's good enough. Just to keep people from driving in here. Lunatics. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this into a parking lot. We're gonna use this parking lot spline point things I'm always using. And let's see, we're gonna put this, no, we want a different texture. We need, let's see, what kind of, what did that say? Unpleasant? Unpleasant grass, number 1. What does that look like? Ooh, that is unpleasant. Yikes. All right, what would they have on the edge of a pool? Maybe like gravel or something like that, I think. Maybe we just use this. Why not? Let's see what this looks like. Sure, that looks good enough. It's gonna be in the background anyway. Gonna be in the background as I just go ahead and detail it like crazy. You guys never seen a public pool? In a park? This could be, you know, it's like an inner city rec center. Oh yeah, so I also added the entrance here. These were another asset, which I wish there was more of. I think Felix also made these parking island things. Yeah, I wish there was a lot more, like different sizes and different shapes. Those are really, really, really useful. So I like that. Now let me find my parking lot spline. It's faster to just fly to it than to figure out what pick list I put it in. And then we're just gonna kinda, maybe we should go this way. Let's go this way with it. What's up, awesome Trainz 21? Alright. We'll put this parking spot right here by the skate park. Nice, dangerous place to park the car. Get a loose skateboard over the fence. And then I think maybe what we can do is... I always try to imagine like how the parking situation would be laid out in a lot like this. Would it be laterally or horizontally, or I guess maybe we could go like this. Right, we'll do... Yeah, I think we'll do something like that. So let's see. Use the grid. That's also my handy trick, which isn't really a handy trick. There's a grid in this game. Use it. Use it to your advantage as best as you can. That's why I don't like building on angles. I like building within the conformity of the grid because it helps me keep everything straight and square. Parking lots is my that's my thing. I mean, think about it though. Parking lots. You don't put that down. Go look at like any map on the download station. There's no parking lots. You don't just have buildings plopped around in the middle of a field without a place to park. And yeah, they're a pain to use, or to put down. They're not really a pain, but it is annoying. I totally understand that it's annoying. So we're gonna do this. I'm only gonna do a couple of these because it is painstaking to do. John Mahan? Sorry, man. I can't monitor the chat, but yeah, if you guys are swearing up a storm in the chat, please refrain from that. I don't mind if you're gonna curse and stuff like that, but keep it to the minimum, please. It's not appropriate here. I don't curse. Oh, I wanted to make that minus. Minus 0.20. So yeah, let's see. We're gonna try to line this up. So I like the way that looks. I'm not gonna go crazy, like I said. Maybe we'll do 2 of these, just because it is a pain. Put this here. We're just gonna line it up with that. There we go. And we're gonna go like this. Yeah, so we'll just do... I think we can only really realistically fit 1 more of these in here anyway, so that's what we're gonna do. Find a good grid point. Maybe this one. We might not even be able to fit 1 more in here, actually. It can be kind of tight. Let's see. Might fit. I think, yeah, we're gonna try to get this in here, and then I'm not gonna waste time during the stream doing like placing down cars and stuff like that, because that is really boring to do. It's boring for me to do, and it's boring for you to watch. So we're not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna get the parking lot down, and then we're gonna keep moving. We gotta keep making progress here. I've been really psyched about this build. Like, really, that's gonna be pretty tight, but that's okay. Really excited to get into this and get it, obviously get it up and operational, start running some trains and see how it looks and everything like that. Super stoked. And I think down here, maybe we'll do... Do we want to curve this? We're gonna try and curve this around here. No guarantee it's gonna look good. Maybe we just go to there. Squeeze in a couple extra parking spaces. And maybe we could squeeze in a couple right there. It's, you know, it's so weird sometimes with the fences and the shadows. It's hard to tell which is the fence and which is the shadow. Try to figure out how to line it up. We're gonna do that. How did I come up with the name of the route? Well, so I was thinking, since it's based on the Catskill Mountain branch, I was gonna look around and see like what kind of names and stuff were in the area. And I also have a cabin in the Catskills, and I was just looking at, I was on Google Earth, just looking for regular inspiration for the build itself, and some names just popped out to me. The Esopus Valley, I believe, Esopus Valley Railroad was the I forgot what it was. When the Catskill Mountain Railroad was in 2016 about to lose their lease and all that stuff, one of the proposals was a freight operator, and the name of the proposed freight operator was the Esopus Valley Railroad. So I decided to kind of take that and merge it in. And the Esopus is actually a major creek that runs through the Catskills. So I thought that was kind of a nice touch. Let me take a peek at the chat here. See what you guys are all going on about here. Am I gonna do some operating at some point? Yeah, once I get a little bit more done, we'll test out some operating. John, you are, whoa, hold on, chat, slow down for a second. You said you're having a hard time finding steam locomotives. Go to K&L Trainz. Check out their content there, knltrainz.com. All right. Ugh, I gotta get a new chair, man. Ugh, this chair's killing me. Yeah, K&L Trainz for some Steam stuff. They've got some freeware, it's mostly payware, but Steve has some really great stuff over there. There's also, I can't remember what the name of the other one was. There's another good website. It's off of Trainz Forge. There's a link for it on the Trainz Forge website. So maybe go to Trainz Forge and and look for that. I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me right now. I guess this route is going to take place like in the 90s or 2000s. So where are all my lamps? Or is it just like street light? Is that what it's called? I think maybe that's what I'm looking for, streetlights. Oh, the Laurel Line stuff is all pretty good. All right, well, you know what? I'm gonna come back to that. I don't need to do that right this second. Let me add some more details over here, some more shrubs and grasses and stuff. Just plop a couple of these guys down. And again, these shrubs are kind of like, there's only like one or two sizes and they're enormous. So I've been kind of just like dropping them into the ground like that a little bit, just to add some variety and height. There's this guy here too, but they're also huge. Yeah. So we need some grass. That's a grass spline. Hello, grass, where are you? There we go. So we're just gonna do that, and then I think we're gonna try to fill in some of the city area. Because I have a feeling that's probably why most of you are here. Is to see that. And it would be cool to start trying to figure out this transition into the countryside. I think maybe something other than weeds over here would be nice too. At some point I could add some wildflowers, or like just a regular old flower garden or something like that. Flowering trees maybe. Oh, I do actually have some of those. Trees. Some of the ones that I used on the last P&B are pretty nice. Alright, let's see. They are... some of these short ones. Yeah. These little flowering guys. These are pretty cool. Let's do a couple of these. Because I know every time I walk into a park, I usually have some kind of flowering trees somewhere that in the springtime just make my life a living hell. With the allergies. I don't like this. Actually, it's not bad. Let's switch these two. It's not bad. And I think there's another couple of small ones. Not that. I think these are getting up into the apple trees now. Yeah, oh, these are the ones that I wanted, I think. I like these ones. I like these bright pink ones. Oops. Let's use these instead. They kind of remind me of in New York City in the summertime, or in the springtime, the cherry blossom trees. Am I a Star Wars fan? I do like Star Wars. I wouldn't call myself like some crazy fan or something like that. I do enjoy it, but I also haven't seen the original ones in like 10 years or something like that. Let's move that. Let's move this. But I do like the series quite a bit. I'm a big space guy. I was talking about this last time. I love sci-fi. I love and I love sci reality. Science real. Big fan of that kind of stuff. All right, that's cool. Cool. All right. Let's figure out what we're gonna do. Since I got you guys here, we need to figure out what we're gonna do down this way. I see a question, what track am I using on this route? The track is JR US track number 4132. I'm not sure that any of this is available yet, or it might have been part of the Tidewater pack. I'm not sure. So it's... I don't really know. Sometimes I have content that's not available yet, and then sometimes I have content that I think is not available, but it is. So, do these trees hurt frame rates? I mean, they can. What I would recommend is if you have not the best settings or the best computer, you could turn your tree detail down a little tiny bit. Usually I have it on ultra, but I haven't seen too much of a difference between high and ultra. So I put it on high just to save some frames. Even, you know, I probably don't really need to, but try to keep it at least under control for live streaming and stuff like that, because I don't know how much load I could put on this thing. Actually, my CPU is doing pretty good. Everything's doing really stable. So that's good. Anyway, so, all right, what I'm thinking, let's start mapping out some of this a little bit, because the best way for me to build is to get some of the infrastructure in, and then kind of work off of that. So by infrastructure, I mean any roads, the rails, obviously, stuff like that. So I think we're gonna do, I wanted to do, so I was explaining last time, I wanted to have this sort of double track bridge here. And the idea, again, is just to further enhance this backstory of a formerly thriving rail line that has just been out of service and beat down for a very, very long time. And now it's been reactivated. So some of the tracks have already been pulled. Maybe they were pulled 30, 40, 50 years ago. But something like a bridge is still going to be there because that's kind of hard to replace. So I want to reinforce that idea that, you know, this was a thriving railroad at some point, but not anymore. So one of the things I want to do is have this double track bridge and have it sort of hanging out with one track. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then skip 1. Small pond would look great near the park. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. In fact, my idea to kind of get out of this park area is sort of just that. We're gonna have this baseball field here, and then maybe continue on with a little bit more scenic stuff, like you said in there in the chat there, a pond maybe, some kind of forested area, and then some sparse housing. And I want to just keep it sort of simple between these big elements for the most part. I like the idea of having really detailed scenes and then having scenes that are not so crazily detailed, because it makes the actual detailed scenes that much more special. So I think that's important to keep in mind. Whoa, what is... That's interesting, because I thought these splines were... There we go. Thought it was fixed. I guess it wasn't. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. And then the only way that I know of to check clearance is to eyeball it and then maybe put like a truck or something underneath. So that looks a little bit deep. How about a power plant? I haven't decided. Well, I kind of know what's going to be at the end of it, but I haven't gotten there yet. That might be low enough. Going out of town, we're gonna get to the next two industries. We've got a lumber siding over here and a candy factory, sugar factory. Oh my gosh. So a candy factory, and the idea that, and then going beyond that, there'll be a team track, maybe out in the farming areas, and for like transloading stuff. And then after that, what was the last industry I have on there? I think it's a cement industry or a quarry. Hold on one second, my wife is texting me. Let me see here. Some old abandoned mills would be pretty cool. Yep. Okay. Paper mill, no, there won't be a paper mill on here. I don't want any like huge industries, because if there's a really big industry on here, then it doesn't make sense as to why the line was ever deactivated. So I don't want anything too big. Can we put ducks at the pond? If there are ducks in the game, I'll put them there. I was really wowed by the birds in the Norfolk Southern route, so I would love to include stuff like that. I love the ambient sounds. I think that really brings in a level of immersion. Sorry, dudes, my wife is texting me. Let me just excuse me for one moment. All right. Anyway. There's fish? Somebody's telling me there's fish. I don't know about that. That might be a little bit too much. Anyway, so I gotta think about how I want this to be. I think what we'll do, as a matter of fact, is we're gonna keep the road low because we want to change the terrain a little bit. I want to change the terrain a little bit, so that's what we're gonna do. I think that's how we're gonna do it. Anyway, that's at least the... I'm gonna rough that in. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna make a little bit of a hillside back here. Just trying to picture it in my mind here, how I want it to look. I guess let's make this all kind of low. Just for now. It's not going to be like in this, it's not going to be a sunken road like this, like in a trench. Sorry, I'm just trying to picture it in my head. Alright, so we'll have that. This road will probably continue. I did want to have a couple of major intersections. Anyway, I guess let's do this. We'll continue this road a little bit further. Maybe to here. And we're going to continue this one down too. And then we can start kind of outlining what we're doing. And I put this road here. Why did I put this road here? I don't know if I want that road. Let's just have... Let's have a road kind of come off on an angle. Just add some depth to an otherwise boring grid. And then I'll figure out how I'm going to connect that later. We don't want it that close to the baseball field, though. Something like along that. And then we're going to take this. I'm going to pretend that this is like an apartment complex. To me. So what we're going to do... what's up, David Ackridge? Welcome to the stream. We're gonna just drop this into the ground like that to get rid of that loading dock sort of deal. This kind of reminds me of the apartment building that I was living in Brooklyn. So we're gonna put that there. All right, so we got that. I gotta start working on it, figure out what is over here. Let's add another road down this way. Let's add something going this way. So I guess maybe down in the main city area it will be kind of grid-like. Can I do Durand, CN, Flint sub, and or Ann Arbor, Michigan layout? I'm not familiar with those, so I can't say if I could do them or not. Over time, I gotta get familiarized with some other stuff, and then might be able to do some different things. I always like, you know, trying different builds. Obviously, this is totally different. So we got that there. I just want to see how I'm gonna connect all this. After crossing the road, how about the bridge continues over rivers if the road runs along the river and the tracks crossing the river and the road at the same time? Oh, you're talking about down here? Oh my god. Getting hit from all directions right now. After the crossing road, how about the bridge continues over rivers if the road runs along the river and the track is crossing the river but the road at the same time? I do like that idea. Maybe not right here. I think I want to save that for like way down here. I've got this bridge set up. So I feel like maybe like Drybrook. Maybe we follow Drybrook the whole way, the Drybrook. So I don't know. We could add a bridge somewhere in here though, I think. Or like a bridge for the cars. We need to, I noticed this whole time I've been working on this side of the tracks. I need to do a little bit over here, I think. Let's just add a couple more like intersections. We will add one here because I think that we'll use this other road. Because then that kind of looks like this road maybe once continued over this and it was broken up. Oops. Gonna line it up. I don't know what that's lined up to. How many miles is this? Right now, I've currently laid out 3 miles of track. That's counting from the yard all the way to the end. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 baseboards so far. So that's about 3 miles. I plan on going 8.5 or so. What am I doing? So yeah, so we got that. Man, my nose is so itchy. I think it's because it's dry in here. I got my door shut, and it gets really hot in this little room. Right, so we got that. We got that. This road here. We've got this road here. I think we definitely need to add some terraforming to this because right now there is none. And I think I'm gonna do that over this way, but I gotta get this out of the way. We will use you eventually. So yeah, we're gonna do some terraforming. And I think... Okay, now it just came to me. I know exactly how I'm gonna do this. We're gonna come up oh so gently. Oh no. Nothing's happening. Oh, because I'm not on the right tool. Okay. Sometimes sometimes this game just doesn't behave. Like, it'll just stop placing assets and stuff like that for me sometimes. Or it won't update the terrain, anything like that. So that's what I thought was happening there. And then if that happens, I usually have to restart. Usually I have to save and then quit. I don't have to quit the whole game, but I usually have to quit the route and then go back to the main menu and come back. Did I get snowed in? No, we did not thankfully get any snow out here in Western New York. All my friends down in the city, they're getting snowed in though. Down in New York City. But it has just been, it's actually been kind of sunny out here, which is nice because it's been cloudy like for the past 6 months. So thankfully no snow. It's cold. It's very cold though. It's like, I think it's been like 20 degrees, 22, something like that. It's awful. Absolutely terrible. I'm like looking at the extended forecast and like Monday it's gonna be 45 or something like that. And I'm like, ah, yes, 45, great. Never thought I'd be so happy to see 45. We'll fix that when we get there. So we're gonna just make just a gradual incline here. I don't really foresee myself going much beyond this area, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to not go make a deeper scene. I don't want to hate making deep scenes because obviously I get way too in the weeds with the details and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to find a way to cover this up. And we're gonna start putting houses over here. Maybe a school. Alright, so let's extend this road. Hello? Oh, not on the right thing again. We're gonna bring this road up to here, and then we'll add a few spline points. And then smooth it out a little bit. That was too much at the top. I'm gonna add a spline point here. Okay, that looks good. What do I do with this road? I think we could. I think we're gonna get rid of that, and we're gonna. Oh no! What is happening? That was weird. That was a weird little glitch there. Seasonal glitch. All right, so I think we're just gonna end this road, like right here, and I think that'll be fine. And then we can do, we're gonna add a couple houses over here. Yeah, this is the game plan, guys. This is the game plan. We're gonna do, sorry, I just had like a whole conversation in my head. We're gonna take this. Oop. Can I grab the right one? Probably not, there we go. We're gonna take this and, where do we wanna go? We're gonna go this way. We're gonna go to here. We're gonna add some houses. Where does that line up to? That lines up over here. So we'll do that, and then we can just smooth it out. That's fine. And we're gonna adjust the terrain here. As a matter of fact, why don't we just do that now? So I'm gonna use this, what is it? The plateau tool. And then just start bringing the terrain, sort of ballpark it where I want it. I got the sensitivity kind of set to medium so I don't have, so it's not going too crazy. There we go. I think a lot of times people get really obsessed with having like really smooth like hills and stuff like that, and I remember seeing like so many posts on the forums a while ago. How do you get smooth hillsides and stuff like that? It's like you don't need smooth hillsides. There's no such thing. They don't exist in real life. But if you want to get some kind of a smooth transition like I just did here, use the plateau tool. Helps even out the terrain pretty nicely. So we're gonna go up, and we're actually gonna continue this trend in height this way. But I mean, don't ever get like bent on like you know, having this super smooth like gradient hillside sort of deal. Like it's not that important. I remember there used to be like a technique that people would use where you'd lay down a whole bunch of roads side by side or something like that, and then like, I don't know, I guess use the plateau tool on the whatever this is called. This, yeah, smooth spline tool to get it all smoothed out. And it was just like so much work. I'm like, why are you doing this? Totally unnecessary. And if you're that bent on trying to get your terrain to look like that, just use the smooth tool. I'm getting really great results right now with just doing this. You just have to have patience. See, look at that. But AM, you messed up your roads and your tracks. Yeah, watch. I'm gonna fix that in a moment. You watch. It's like magic. Alright, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about much of this. And then we need to decide what we're doing over there, but we're not there yet. One thing at a time. What I do want is a nice sort of hillside. Alright, so now let's fix our track. And now I think it's fine, in my opinion. We're gonna have this track maybe up on a fill. And I think that that'll be fine. I think this track is set to 0, so we'll just reset it to 0. And bam. We'll just do that. And that's even a little bit too thick, I think. But that's fine. How many houses am I planning to put down? All of them. I plan on putting down all of the houses. I don't know. I mean, as many as I need to. I guess is the short answer to that. I don't have a number in mind, if that's what you're asking. Whatever ends up sort of filling in the area and making it look halfway decent. Let's see, we can bring that down a little bit. And I'm definitely not... Did that make a spline point? Why can't I see that spline point? I'm not concerned with... This is weird. I'm not concerned with... If the... Wow, that's so weird that I couldn't see that spline point. You know, if there's like weird hills and stuff like that in the roads, that's totally fine. Roads aren't flat either. I will fix this though. And I will fix... How many times are we gonna hear this song? Skip. Oops. We need to do this. I guess it's kind of important to understand how the road splines work too. The best way to manipulate them. Yeah, we'll figure that intersection out at some point. Oh, Boeing fan is here, and he's gotta go. I didn't see you pop on, buddy. Any news on Main Central? No, we're still waiting on the next update. I'll let you know once we get it, once we can test it. I do want to talk to you about the P&B in a moment, though. I've got it. It's in the back of my mind. But I'm not there yet in my head. Actually, I need to do a save because I haven't saved anything yet. Okay. All right, we got that. We could even add some more roads. We'll just add a couple more over here. We'll just do one here. Because I just want to populate this area with houses for the most part. So that'll be that. And then we're going to go ahead and then just smooth this out a little tiny bit. The plateau tool with the sensitivity. Just a little bit. And I'm doing this so that I can have sort of a little bit of a level ground to place some houses on. Turn up the sensitivity a little bit more. All right, so another thing All right, we'll just use the leveling tool. So these houses, so let's go ahead and just do, you know what? Let me do this first. Let me save. I'm gonna take a 2-second break to go use the men's room, and then we're gonna put some houses down. And then we're gonna talk about the P&B. So I'll be right back in 2 seconds. You can't hear me. I'm talking all this time. Yikes. Sorry. I'm here. Basically what I was saying is, I know I'm seeing some lag on the game too. What I was saying is we're going to copy and paste some of these assets here. Can you guys hear me? I'm still seeing in the chat that there's no audio. Okay. There's a significant delay between when I see your chat and then I respond, and then you see my response, or you hear my response. So, sorry about that. What I was saying was, I'm trying to copy and paste some of these assets, and the copy and paste tool sucks. So, anyway, I wanted to fill in this space a little tiny bit, or not even a tiny bit. I want to fill it up fully, as much as I can. We'll mix around some of the buildings and stuff like that. But there's going to be a transition. Maybe we'll put like a fast food restaurant or something like that on the corner there. And I can't get these assets any closer. Otherwise, they'll be on top of the pavement like this. We do need to add in the sidewalk. Looks like Is my stream health bouncing a little bit? No, it's fine. We're gonna add the sidewalk in. Oh gosh. We'll add the sidewalk back. Just add these in, I'll mix up some of these buildings, and then we'll have sort of a completed background looking scene. I'm not gonna have these buildings here. I think after this road is gonna be the division. So everything to the left is gonna be more city, everything to the right is gonna be getting more suburban. So we'll add maybe a shopping center or something along those lines. Just to start to transition out a little tiny bit. All right, so let's do that. Find my sidewalk. Grab my sidewalk asset and then just drag it down the whole way. And again, like I said, with the roads at the beginning of this, I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with the spline roads or do the regular pavement marking style. Anything is possible at this point. This is kind of a bit of an experiment, just to see like what I can do with some new assets and just dabble around with some different styles, some different aesthetics. Since I can't do that with the P&B. So actually, speaking of the P&B, here's the plan. And let me know your thoughts, live streamers and people who watch this post actual live stream. I will talk about this in the next P&B video, but so I've been watching the views on the P&B, my P&B videos going down a bit, not like substantially, and to me that signals that either the build is getting stale to people, or it is either the build or maybe my videos are becoming stale. So it's one or the other, and I'm leaning towards it's probably my videos on the build. Like the Apple Orchard one wasn't really a big hit, and you know, whatever. I took a big chance with doing something that wasn't railroad related, a build like that. So that is what it is. It's kind of expected. However, what I'm thinking, man, we use this asset quite a bit. What I'm thinking is I'm right near Allegheny Yard, and that was going to be the mark for phase 2. So I'm considering if I do maybe 2 more videos on the P&B, 2 to 3 more videos on the P&B, and get us over to Allegheny and get Allegheny completed and the steel mill at Allegheny. And then by that point, hopefully the new patch will come out. The new whatever hotfix or service pack or whatever they're going to call it. And what we'll do is we will take a break from the P&B, and I will focus more on getting that released. And hopefully I'll be able to release both phase 1 and phase 2 just at the same time as one map. And then I won't do any videos on the P&B for a little bit because I'll be working on the main central, let's say. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? If I maybe just blitz it, let's call it a blitz it to Allegheny, and then through Allegheny, I mean, I could probably get everything done. I would say I could probably get everything done from that apple orchard to Allegheny in one episode, and then I could probably complete Allegheny in another episode. And then I could probably complete the steel mill in another episode. And then, yeah, and then take a break. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Let me look at the chat. Let's see. On the P&B, is it just the background videos or all videos? I mean, I've noticed a decline in all of the P&B videos. The background videos, the background detail videos tend to have lower. Oh, Gregory Anon, thank you for the $2 donation. Please get drunk on a live stream. Sorry, I have a no drinking policy during live stream, so that's not gonna happen. I do appreciate the donation though. Anyway, Man, that you just threw me off. Yeah, so there's been a decline in all the in most of the P&B videos. My other videos tend to get higher views, and I think that probably might have something to do with people just being interested in seeing something new, just altogether, you know, something totally different. And I can't blame people for that. So I'm trying to think of a way to keep things interesting, content is interesting on the streams, during the videos, and I don't want things to become repetitive and stale. So I'm not sure the best way to deal with that. John French says he's new to the channel, so you're watching everything. Awesome, thank you. Thank you. Let me scroll down a little bit and get a little bit further back. You thought I was gonna do City Skylines? I wanted to. Again, I just don't have the time, so I prioritized the Trainz thing because that's kind of what I made a name for myself doing. So, sorry, just trying to read through the chat. David Ackridge says Blitz sounds good. We got a $5 donation. Can you drink milk instead? I don't have any milk, so I also don't drink milk, so that probably won't happen either. Anyway, so I don't know. That's my thoughts with the P&B, is just blitzing through it, getting everything totally completed, taking a break, focusing on getting that phase 1 and phase 2 out to you guys, and then we can revisit the next sections in a little while. And then I can make videos on a new route. Maybe I'll do videos on this map, or we can start something else even, maybe. I don't know. But I'm just kind of thinking about the P&B at the moment. Oh, I don't even want buildings all the way down here. I'm not even paying attention. Let's get rid of this guy. Yeah, I'll drink this water here. If I had seltzer, I would drink that. I mean, if Gregory would like to keep throwing money at me until I drink something, then that's fine. I can't argue that. Anyway, so there's nothing in the bottles behind me. I showed you guys that last time. They're empty. They're full of lights and beads. Anyway, so yeah, that's where I'm at right now, just because some of these videos take a lot of time to produce. Every video takes a lot of time to produce, so I'm not getting a huge return on my investment. Not that I'm looking for a return on my investment, but it might benefit me more to try to focus on, yeah, we don't want any of these buildings. To focus on getting this stuff out to you guys for a little bit, and taking a little bit of a break from the video aspect, just for temporary, you know. Military Boss makes a good point, that I could do some of it off camera and then the tracks on camera. The thing with the tracks on the P&B is that it's pretty much all, the trackage is all laid for the most part. So I can't really, there's really not much that I can do track laying. We're gonna have to do some faking out stuff here. Maybe we get rid of this road altogether. So I don't know, maybe, how am I gonna do this? Maybe I don't worry about this right now. Maybe we just don't use that building. Or you know what? Let's do this. Forget all these things. You know what we need? We need a gas station. I think. Let me look at this for a minute. What would we want there? I think a gas station probably looks good. Gregory, go to the store with this and buy milk. Oh man, you're cracking me up, Gregory. I appreciate all the kind donations. Maybe next stream I'll get a glass of milk for you. But it'll be very unpleasant for me because I don't like milk at all. I hate it. Only if I can have Oreos too. I don't think let's see, what is this? JR gas station. Can we squeeze this in here somehow, maybe? And it's got a KFC. Ooh. Interesting. I wonder if I can make this work somehow. I don't know if that's gonna fit. Let's just put this off to the side and look at some other assets. Flying A service, P and B. Yeah, how about a derelict gas station? I like that idea, actually. Since it's the less than savvy part of town. Kind of fits with all these buildings too. Kind of like that. And then let's end the sidewalk too. And that there, and then we're gonna end the other one over here. Oh, that's part of the road. All right. All right, so I like the abandoned gas station idea. Yeah, that'll be kind of neat. What we can do, you know what, is we could have the abandoned gas station there, and then we can have the KFC gas station across the street. Like maybe they put the B&P out of business. BP, B&P, BP. The sidewalk back here is part of this road, so I think there might be a version now that I'm thinking about it that has the sidewalk on the one side. Yeah, this one. I can do this. I think that'll work. Cool. All right, I like that. Let's move this back a little tiny bit, maybe to here. And then maybe we add the sidewalk here. There we go. Oh, there we go. That was a big lag spike. Every time I open up the textures panel, it does that. It gives me a big lag spike. It's really annoying. Yeah, hopefully the next update, service pack, whatever, fixes some things. There's a lot of things that need to be fixed. Lots and lots of things. Where's that? There we go. We need to go, yes, get a couple of these, like, I don't know, vent thingies down. I like that, looks cool. In New York State, I see 2 gas stations across the street from each other all the time. In fact, down in the city, the town that I'm from, in New York, there is a Quick Check. I don't know if you guys know Quick Check. And across the street is another Quick Check. There's literally 2 Quick Checks on either side of the street. It's pretty ridiculous. It's not even like a huge, crazy busy street either. But I saw the second one open up when I went down to visit my parents. And I was like, what? Why? Why is there a Quick Check across the street from a Quick Check? This isn't Starbucks. Can't do that. All right, so that's gonna be that sort of deal. We'll do the same thing over here. And then we're gonna fix those next row of buildings, and then we can transition into some more scenic-y looking stuffs. So let's fix these buildings. Let's see, are they? Yeah, these are different from those other ones. So I know you guys are saying that like these buildings are starting to look the same and stuff, and they are. But really, they're background buildings. You're not going to be looking at them too much. You're going to be looking at the trains. So yeah, the first gas station had capacity issues, so they opened up a new one. I like that idea. And if it starts looking too cookie cutter, off camera, I'll go through and swap out some of the buildings. It's not that big of a deal. Add a couple little alleyways here and there. All right, I'm not doing the rest of those yet. Just want to get this worked out. All right, that's looking all right. What we'll do is... Oh, my hair is in my face. My hair's getting long. So we'll do is we're going to add some trees and grass and stuff behind here. And then we'll lay out these buildings. So there are some JR houses. Let's do another quick save. Let's see. I think Alex was also making these sort of bungalow style houses, which are pretty cool. I like their like really low profile. It's a country house. So we'll just throw a few of these down, and we'll mix them in with like these are more like downtowny looking houses. We'll mix them in with some of the other nicer, other different style houses, like the raised ranches and stuff like that. But I want to, these look more like, you know, cheap houses that you would see just on the edge of the city. And I should know because right now I live in the city of Rochester, and there's tons and tons of these houses all over the place. I don't live in one of them, but they're everywhere, and they're super, super cheap. Will I ever do Trainz railfan videos? You know, people ask me for that, but I'm not really sure what you guys are looking for, to be perfectly honest with you. You guys always asking for me to do like a railfan video on like the P&B or something, and I'm not really sure what you want me to do. Just like park the camera near a bridge and watch a couple trains go by? I'm not sure. Because I mean, if that's the case and it's that simple, I mean, I guess I could do that. But is anybody gonna really watch that? All right, let's do this. I really need more. What is this? Ooh. Like apartment complexes or something like that would be good. I'm trying to remember the ones that I usually use. These ones aren't too bad. think it's like House American style or something like that, New England style. Yeah, these ones. The Maiden Sears. So as we get further away, we can add some of these like nicer houses and stuff, but it's almost hardly worth it because we're not gonna see that far away, hopefully. But yeah, they do make decent background buildings. So we got that going on. We're gonna put a block of trees and stuff over here though. Do a model railroad video. Yeah, I was talking about doing model railroad style videos, or not style, model railroad videos during the last stream. I would like to do that, but again, that's another thing that I don't have. I'm not really set up for that, so it's not a series that I could start right away, but and I'd have to figure out what exactly what am I gonna do? Am I gonna build a diorama, or you know, what's it gonna be? Let's texture the ground first. Because I wouldn't mind doing like a weathering series or something like that, a model railroad. I don't know if you guys, some of you guys have seen the hopper that I did, the HO scale hopper that I weathered some time ago, and I have a couple other freight cars that I've weathered, and I think they came out really, really good. Some people were really impressed by it, so I could do some kind of a series based on that, you know, like a weathering series or something like that would be good. But again, that's something I'd have to prepare for and figure out how I would do that and what the format would be, how it would look, and all that kind of thing. Let's grab some shrubs. Add some of the underbrush first. I haven't done like a forested area with any of these things yet, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. And I guess this might be a good opportunity to try these TB trees and just see what they look like as a background tree. TB forest. We don't want big pine trees. I guess we'll just kind of scroll through and see what some of these look like. Do I like cars? Like sports cars and stuff like that? I guess when I was younger, I used to be into that sort of thing a little bit. I used to do car models. But as an adult, I don't know anything about cars. I mean, sports cars are all pretty cool and everything, but it's not anything I know anything about at all. See, the thing is that I hate about these trees is the stupid shadows. If they could make them so that they didn't cast shadows on themselves, these would be great. But the fact that you're getting these weird polygonal vertical shadows just totally kills it for me. I can't use those. Terrible. Back to the drawing board. Trees. I could always use my... Yeah, I don't really know about that. These are super old. My P&B trees, or the trees that I use on the P&B, but I think the contrast is going to be too much. These ones don't seem to cast the shadows as bad on themselves. I guess they do. Yeah, I guess let's take a look at some speed trees and see if that fills in all right. And then we could use some of those other ones for like deep background trees. we gotta find some nice big ones. These are nice. 20 meters. 25. I hate that this monitor that I have that I'm playing on right now is not my 4K monitor. And the text is just awful. Very, very difficult to read. That's a big tree. What I want is some big trees to like fill some space. There we go. Something like that. And because we did that, we don't really even need these shrubs. We can put a couple up front. Put that guy there, put that guy there. Maybe move this guy here. Just need a little bit of underbrush. That looks cool. And we can kind of do the same thing over here too. Thinking. So we need to divide out that scene a little tiny bit. We'll do the old guardrail trick, I think. Find the guardrail. There we go. Let's move these guys up a little bit. And then we're going to find... Let's see, because this would probably have... Because this is also a KFC. Probably would have a little bit of a parking area, so... It's... How did that happen? There we go. I'm going to move this. Could do something like that. Give it a little parking area. And we'll probably have... What we'll do is we'll do a barrier here. And a barrier here. Because we want to think about how people would get into here and get in and out. Actually, let's bring this all the way up. And then we're going to break it up. And then, so we're going to add the areas where you can go in and out. And I really wish I could use the, my favorite asset, the sidewalk median 4 foot. But I don't think it's not on the download station. Yeah, it's a red asset. This thing is great. I guess I could use, there's got to be something else I could use as a divider. Maybe there's like another one of these Yarnish sidewalks or something. That might work. Just to have something there, maybe? I don't know. Maybe that doesn't work. A lot of these places have some kind of like a something or another. Yeah. Live without it. So I like that, and then we could put down some parking spaces as well. Which I'm gonna grab from over here. And butt those right up. I think we might even move this back a little tiny bit. This KFC gas station. Ridiculousness. I think we'll put it over here. That way there's a little bit of parking. We could even put some parking at the front as well. Like up here. And I don't know if there was a sign to go with this, like with a JR gas station Sunoco. wonder if there's a Sunoco sign. Might be this one, but it might not be. But we're gonna use it. We're gonna use this. 170. Ooh, 180 is what I want. There we go. Totally obviously different, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. So we got that. What I wanted to do was add some of the details down. Pavement details. Which way are we going here? We don't want to go that way. We don't want to go that way either. I've been digging this asset here. Here we go. That kind of creates these like streaks of cracks. Because I find that parking lots tend to do that sort of deal where they sort of crack in a big line in the same direction. And then you can break it up with some of these other assets, rotate them a little bit. And throw a couple of these guys in here. Here we go. Put another one over here. And maybe one over here. There we go. And that breaks it up real nice, in my opinion. Yeah, cool. And all right, let's get down to the level here, ground level, and just take a peek and just see how this kind of is shaping up. So we got this gas station over here. We got our park, we got our tracks. I think that that's feeling kind of cool. It's feeling like a transition into the, heading out into suburbia. It's getting there. Obviously I'll put down some cars and some lights and stuff like that. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. We could throw some more trees and shrubs and the things like that. We had that shrub spline. Let me grab that. Because that just saves so much time to be able to use splines. There we go. We could do that, and then I'm just gonna grab some more big trees. It's too big. Have you guys checked out the new Train Sim World, the Northeast Corridor one? I knew Anthony Pecoraro has been Instagramming me about it. I was wondering if anybody else has taken a look at it yet. I have not. I've only looked at a few videos. I'm just curious what everybody's take is on it. It looks kind of cool. I'm interested mostly in the freight operations because that was, you know, Brooklyn and Queens and stuff like that. That's where I used to live. And when I was applying for work with CSX, that's what I would have been doing. Is the freight operations out of the Bronx terminal there. So I'm kind of interested in that, but sit up. This chair makes me slouch, which is really bad. All right, how long have we been streaming for? An hour, 54 minutes. All right, so we're gonna go for another, what time is it? 8:46. I'm gonna go for another 15 or 20 minutes and see how I'm feeling. I'm getting a little tired, a little hungry. I'm gonna go eat a snack. But this is coming along pretty cool. We got our trees there, and we can add maybe a couple more houses. Again, I'm not super concerned about these, because I think they're pretty much background buildings. You guys don't like TSW. Yeah, I mean, that's what I hear, is that there's a lot of mixed reviews on it. A lot of pros, a lot of cons. You guys want me to run a train? I mean, I guess we could take a train down. Some of you guys like it though. TSW is awesome. John Alexander thinks that this should be incorporated into the P&B. I mean, the thing is, it could be, but the assets used are just like totally different. It's like night and day. So, I mean, the assets, a lot of the assets that are in the P&B or on the P&B are pretty old, unfortunately, and it's too hard to update them right now because it's such a big map that if I try to start updating stuff and using new assets, it's just gonna stand out like a sore thumb. So I would be a little bit nervous about doing something like that. And that's also part of the reason why I wanted to do this map, is because I can use all new, that's not what I wanted to do. I could use all new assets and do different stuff and not have to worry about, you know, trying to match what's there. When you've been working on a route for a really long time, you know, you get a lot of, you'll end up with continuity, or incontinuity, I should say. Incontinuity in the assets that you used when you first started building compared to the assets that you're using at the end. And that alone can drive some people nuts. I mean, if you look at the P&B, some of the areas that I started working on when I first started the video series versus the areas that I've been working on recently, you'll see a huge difference. And that's not just in the style of my building, that's also how I use my assets and all that. Hey, Jacob Oliver, welcome to the stream. What's happening, buddy? I haven't heard from you in a little bit. Hope everything's been well. We're here working on something new. Something rusty. Something blue. We're gonna add, we need to add maybe a little driveway for these dudes. Oh, you like the name of the route too. Thank you. Thanks, man. Jacob Oliver really helped me with some stuff on the P&B a while ago. So give him a shout out whenever I see him pop on here. He's been around since, well, a lot of you have been around for a while, come to think of it. A lot of you guys have been around with me since the beginning, which is really cool. And that's really refreshing too. It's always good to see some of the same names in there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like getting new people too, but it's definitely refreshing to see people who are still with me after a year and a half of doing this crazy stuff. I'm gonna mix all this up. I like this grass texture, it blends really nicely. And then we're gonna add a little driveway here. That's looking cool. Yeah, and we'll get a couple more houses up on this hilltop, and then we'll line it with trees and stuff like that. And I think it'll make a nice background. Mass4449's been around since under 100 subs. I think you were my 100th sub, were you not, Mass4449? I have it written down in my notebook, because when I first started, I was keeping track of all my new subscribers and who you guys were, like the landmark numbers and stuff like that. I think you might have been number 100. Anthony Pecoraro has been around since episode 2. Let's see, we're gonna add some small trees here. Just a couple little ones, wherever I got them. What is this? Is this a shrub? It's a shrub. Just add a couple small ones to these, like, front yards. And we'll do a couple more of these guys. Of course, we're gonna fill all that in pretty nicely. And we can transition going out that way, which would be nice. Let's do this really quick as well, just so I could feel like I did something with the ball courts. Baseball court. Or baseball court, baseball field. Did I say baseball court? Oh my gosh. Ugh. Could probably squeeze another 1 or 2 in here. What is the road asset? The road that I'm using here is a JR road. Oops, that's a sidewalk. JR wide road 2-lane. I think it was part of the, again, probably part of the Tidewater route or maybe one of the other ones. John Alexander, was that you who said that on Facebook? That was, yeah, somebody said that on Facebook on one of my photos. Something old, something new, something rusty, something blue in response to my Conrail engine on there. If that was you, that was brilliant. Did appreciate that a lot. We need, oh my god, why is this so laggy? Do I want the diamond here? I think I might move this other diamond down here. I'm picturing like down in, you know what, we'll do this way. Down in Central Park and then down in Brooklyn in Prospect Park, which was my park. They have these areas where there's just dozens of baseball fields kind of crammed into like, you know, just one big old area. I'm trying to like replicate that. Oh, so that was you, John. Okay. Brilliant. I love it. We're going to flip this way. All right, so we're going to just do this a little bit more, and then I guess we'll... Why not? We'll run a train a little bit. What we could do is... I'm just trying to think like if we want to like drive the train down here, pick up a couple cars. Why don't we do that? We'll all right, yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do it in a minute. We'll drive down to the candy factory and pick up some boxcars full of candy. Baseball players, I think they're only like the flat ones. The like billboard ones. Jacob Oliver, am I mixing you up with somebody else with the same name? I thought you helped me out with a bunch of stuff in the beginning. Or have you just been around for forever and I'm like, my brain is just totally mushed. We'll just do a little bit of this. All right, let's, yeah, we're gonna do, let's just build a train. Let's do this. We will. I haven't decided if the scrapyard is going to be inbound or outbound loads of scrap. So let's do this. Can I uncouple these guys? We'll drive down. We'll do pickups because I think that'll be the most fun. So we'll pick these guys up, and then. Thanks, Jackson Railfin. And RS18, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I haven't decided what the roster is gonna be. It's only gonna be a couple of, engines. But I'd like to have like a unique paint scheme for it and everything. How's my stream health? I see things lagging. That's so weird. I see in my playback there's some lag and stuff, but I'm wondering if it's the playback or, I don't know, something weird going on there. And then let's just grab a boxcar. I don't know what boxcars look best. I'm just gonna slap a couple down. So those will just be here, and then we'll throw. Let's make this interesting. This is a good chance for me to test like the track arrangements too. I'll just grab that guy and then this guy. And then maybe we can put a couple tankers down. I mean, the thing is with these tracks too is that they're just sort of spitballed right now. They're just roughed in. So I don't know how well they're gonna work at the moment, but let's see. We'll just throw a few of those down. I don't think there's any... I gotta throw down a couple switch stands, which is fine. No target, no ballast. Yeah, we just want no target. And I'm just gonna throw them at each section here. Got one there, okay. Yeah, so I guess what we'll do is we'll drive out, we'll pick up the gondolas, and then we'll drive down to the candy shop, and we'll pick up everything down there and then drive back. I think that might work. Oh, I see what's happening. When I move around a lot, it seems like the stream starts stuttering. I don't know if you guys are seeing that on your end or if it's just me, but if I start... It seems like when I'm flying around too much, maybe I'm sending too much data downstream and it's getting confused. These switch stands are on the download station. New Century switch stand. There's a whole bunch of them. They all are all beautiful. So yeah, check those out. Let's see what I have in the way of Conrail. What kind of Conrails I got? GP15? Nah. GP38-2, that might work. And I'm just gonna do Conrail just kind of because that's what I had before. Yeah, I guess this guy will do. I don't know, he's a... Is he 4-axle? Yeah, that's a 4-axle unit. No 6-axle units on here. It's too, track is in too bad a shape. So it is lagging a little bit for you guys. Okay, well that's... I really don't understand why. It might be my internet. I am on wireless and my router's on the other side of the house, so... And downstairs. So that might be part of the problem. I have to look into trying to get a direct line up here. Yeah, the crossings at the baseball field are not hooked up. I don't feel like doing that right now. We'll do this in DCC mode. And what do we gotta do? We're gonna turn off the junction overlays. And turn up the sound. Which I don't hear any sound. I don't know if you guys hear any sound. But I'm not getting any. So, without sound we will do it, or whatever. I don't know. I'd have to restart the whole game. I'll play as if their sound is on, though. The music that I have on is not licensed. That's why I can play it, but if there's a way to put the music track in the corner of the screen, I don't know how to do that. No sound. Sorry guys, no sound. Not sure why. Probably has to do a lot with the fact that like I said at the beginning of this, my sound setup is kind of rigged up, sort of, you know, just to get it to work. No, I think what happens is if the game sound is not muted, what happens is if I launch the game before OBS or after OBS or something like that, it doesn't update the sound settings, so the game doesn't actually send sound out to my sound card. I don't know, it's really weird. So wait, we're not, that's right, we're not picking anything up. We're just going running light. And I guess I'll just kind of like try to fly around a little bit, get some cool views of these nice scenes that we've been working on. Should put the headlight on. It's so hard to navigate through here. I wish there was like a camera bump option for buildings, so instead of like clipping through the building, you just kind of bumped around it. But I bet you that would get really irritating. That looks really cool going up that right there. I like that, the way that looks a lot. We could say that the branch used to be owned by Conrail, and then when the branch closed, the engine stayed. That's not a bad idea. I do like that. Like that backstory. This guy's got some oomph to him, though. I give him go into notch 1 for a second. He's taking off. So we need to, I don't know if this crossing is set up or not. It might be. We'll grab these guys. Not gonna be very exciting once we get out of the scenic area, but. Oh, I also did this scene last night too. Or the night before, which I think is kind of cool. Too bad you can't make the track into jointed stick row or the track or rock side to side. There is a way to do that, actually. There is a way to do it. I have to look into how to do it. Is this a GP40? It might be. I think it is. You guys, I feel like probably make fun of me all the time behind my back because I don't know anything about these engines, man. They all, especially like on the Discord and stuff like that, people are always talking about different types of engines, and I'm like, well, I have no idea. Like I'm a rail fan and stuff, but like I don't know any of this stuff. I can tell the difference between a GP unit and an SD unit because it's 4-axle and 6-axle, but anything beyond that, I don't know. Like, you could tell me this was a GP38 and I'd believe you, or a GP38-2 and I'd believe you. I really just don't know any of the difference between these things. I mean, I know what the difference, I know that there are differences and stuff like that, but like, to my eyes, it's just it all looks the same. It's either got this kind of cab or it's got the newfangled cabs. That's the difference to me. Or it's got a high hood. That's it. That is looking pretty cool. We can't forget to throw the switch back. It's tough getting good camera angles in here, though. I guess that's the only thing that really sucks about doing a big sort of city scene. Yeah, track conditions will let you do the rocking side to side. Oh gosh, we're inside of the buildings. try to get some like interesting perspectives. It's tough like on the fly to figure out where it's going to be a cool spot. I spend a lot of time kind of like zipping around trying to find good angles and stuff. See, this is pretty cool. To me, like, I don't know, I love these like old abandoned tracks, or these tracks that like, you know, if you were driving by in real life, you would think that they were totally abandoned. So to, you know, see a train creeping down this or something like that would be really, really cool to me. And especially like with the park right here and stuff. I don't know. It's just got a special feeling. Oh man, this song just keeps coming up. Not that I don't like it, but I'm tired of hearing it over and over and over again. Whoa. So now we're gonna just venture into the unseen stuff. So we'll just kind of go quick through this area. We want to just get down to the candy factory and see if we can check out how the tracks are, and then we'll drag all this back to the yard. See how that is. It's good to test operation like while you're still building, because you don't want to like set everything in stone and get your tracks laid and then get all your scenery done around it, and then you go to operate and you're like, oh man, this whole track layout does not work at all. And then it's a real pain to try to adapt it because you got to rip everything out. Is that something I would consider doing for this though, or would I keep the track immaculate? No, I mean this track is supposed to be beat, so if I can make it even more beat, then that's even more ideal. It'll definitely not be 40 miles an hour through here either. It's probably gonna be more like, I guess maybe on like the main stretches of track, you could probably. What is class 1 speed? Is it 15 or is it 25? It'll be whatever that minimum speed is to get things back in service. Plus, slow running is just that much more fun. Superbird, thank you so much for that. It's funny. Good, glad to hear. I've heard other people say that as well, which is cracks me up a little bit, because that's not really how I view myself and my skills. I don't really think I'm an authority on this at all, but I enjoy it, and it's, I guess maybe it comes natural to me. Anthony Pecoraro, yeah, we were talking about that a few minutes ago. The track track properties or something like that, yeah. So this is going to be a little bit of a switching puzzle. I'm going to guess we're going to want to put everything on this little runaround track. And I'm thinking I'm going to... Now, this is going to be a big I'm thinking sort of thing. I'm thinking about making custom buildings for these, so we'll see how that goes. But catch you later, Chris Scott. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you later. So I might take a stab at doing some 3D modeling and see if I can maybe put together some custom buildings. I gotta look and see if maybe I gotta find some cool custom buildings that I would want to model. Is part of the issue. Is I can invent all of these scenes and stuff in my head, but you know, to have like a real prototypical building, I feel like I need something to base it off of a little bit more. Man, we're coming in here quick. A lot of weight on these gondolas, I guess. I think we're good. I think we're clear enough. So I do know, I'm not gonna say I know 3ds Max, because I don't. But I have been tinkering around with it a little tiny bit. So I might see if I can find a prototype that I like, and then go from there. Let's get these box cars. Hunter, yeah, I actually was thinking about doing the 3% grade, and maybe even a horseshoe somewhere. You know, like I said, I'm using the Catskill Mountain branch as inspiration. I don't want to pull every detail from it, but I'm certainly using a lot of it as inspiration. So, yeah, I might put a pretty serious grade on it for a little bit. I do, Hunter, since you're familiar with it, I kind of picture the end of the line ending at the West Hurley area, you know, would be the end inspiration would be sort of in there, or around what is it, Beesmer's gravel or something like that. So that would be sort of my end marker. But again, this isn't meant to be a oh, I did switch the track. Okay, this isn't meant to be a replication of the Catskill Mountain branch, but just inspired by. I'm pulling inspiration from other things as well. So we did clear that. Man, I can't wait until they have rail driver support. N3V, if you're watching this. Wink, wink. Nod, nod. Yeah, Beesmer Road. Which reminds me, by the way, guys, and I'll say it again for the people who are in the stream and who else might be watching this later. If you're gonna buy any payware from Trainz, the Trainz portal, please use the link in my in the description of my videos, because that is an affiliate link, and it's not gonna affect your price on any of the products or anything like that. But if you use that link and you buy something, I essentially get a percentage of what you spent. It goes to me to help support me. So use that link. Doesn't affect you anyway, so if you're gonna buy something, then just do that, please. Mitchell DeVillers, can you become a moderator? I don't know who you are, so the answer is no. Sorry. I only mod people who I know, and I don't think I recognize you. TSW doesn't have rail driver support yet. Yeah, but the thing is like Trainz had rail driver support and then they got rid of it. So, you know, I've got this, I don't remember how much rail driver was, like 200 bucks or something like that, or 150 bucks. You know, I've got this $150 game controller that I bought to use for this game that I play all the time, and it's supposed to be a train simulator and I can't use the stinking controller? Come on. It worked on previous versions and they pull the plug on it. That's just really rude. So I guess this bend I was afraid this bend was going to be a little bit tight, but I guess it doesn't seem too bad. For an industrial spur, it's not too bad. I believe this could potentially string line if you had a long enough cut of cars, but let's see. Oh, we gotta throw this switch. So it just dawned on me that if we're gonna switch out the lumber industry as well, I'll either need a runaround here, or we'll have to add a runaround on the main, or something like that. We're gonna need another runaround, or no, you know what? That was the thing that I was thinking, is that in terms of operation, I wanted to have some trailing point spurs without runarounds, so you had to switch them on the way back. So you had to carry your cars out with you all the way and then switch them on the way back. But maybe not. Maybe the switching operation would just happen right out of the yard. I'm not sure. What other industries am I going to put on here? There's going to be a team track for transloading. A little bit further down, and then towards the end of the line is going to be a gravel either a gravel quarry or a cement factory or something along those lines. And then maybe I'll even put some kind of something after that, but right now that's all that I really have planned. Ooh, I want to change the reverser. So the idea is that this isn't like a really overly busy track. You know, you can get maybe 2 or 3 trains a week, tops. Just a short line railroad. Kind of keep it simple. Something that's just really enjoyable to switch because you know what's going on all over the place. You know what industry is taking what, where the cars are going, that sort of thing. I do like the physics in Tane, though. I will give them that. I think the physics are a little bit better than they've ever been. They feel pretty good, at least. Let's get up here. We're gonna grab these guys. So this will be interesting to see. I don't even know if this will be how many tanker cars will be here and how many box cars. Like I really just for this. I kind of just threw them down. What is this over here? Oh, it's a rack. So these would be outbound box cars of like candy or general goods. And then I'm picturing the tankers would be full of corn, what is it? Corn syrup. Inbound loads of corn syrup. So these would be empty. And then I think the lumber yard over here would have inbound loads of center beams. Seems like a good route to have a shoving platform for cabooses. Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. I like that idea. Try derailing the train. If you're derailing your train, you're doing something wrong. Don't derail it. But yeah, so let's see. How many cars do we have? We got 2, 6, 7, 8. So we got 8 cars. So I know the one runaround in the yard has enough capacity for 9 cars. And plus an engine, I think. It's 8 cars and an engine or 9 cars and an engine. Now I can't remember. So we should be good, but I mean, it'll be interesting to see because theoretically, going back, we're gonna have more. Well, if we had 2 tanker cars, might be 1 box car. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I like the idea of the yard potentially getting crowded. You know. Yeah, we got some jazz going on right in the background right now. Still wondering what those tank cars are for. Don't they ship corn syrup in tank cars? Cargill? Isn't that what this is? So it would have corn syrup in it. How fast are we going? 20 miles. This will be interesting to see what this looks like kind of heading back. I'm also imagining this being a little bit built on fill for some of it, like down in Brooklyn and Queens, the freight yard or the freight trains that go out into Bay Ridge and stuff and around down there are they are built on a lot of fill. So I think it's kind of cool. Yes, I know about the track condition option. We were talking about that before. I'll have to... That's one of those details, like I'll come back at the end or later on and start adding in. It's not a detail I want to add right away. It's the same thing with like parked cars and some other details that I know I'll eventually add, but right now I want to get some of the bigger stuff roughed in. Abandoned industries that turn to trucking instead of rail. That's a good idea. I do like that. I don't think there's going to be any street running here. The closest that I have is going through that parking lot right at the main interchange there. So I think that'll be as close as we're going to get to street running here. The rest of this after this main area here is going to be countryside, so I don't anticipate much more. I mean, everything pretty much heading down that way. To the west is going to be ever-increasing countryside. So, street running usually happens in more like city areas. If it was going to happen, it would happen in here somewhere. So, we're finally getting back into the scenic stuff. Didn't take too terribly long to do. 20 minutes out and back, running probably twice what the track speed will be, so that'll be good. Boeing is wondering where I got the name from. Again, so this is inspired by the Catskill Mountain Branch. So I was looking at some names, some street names, and just some names on a map on Google Earth. You know, I'm from the area as well, so I just took some names that are around where like my cabin is and that sort of deal. And I like the idea of Drybrook. Maybe that's the end of the line, is that we go all the way out to an area called Drybrook. And maybe the name of this city is Esopus, and it's in a valley. And alternatively, if there was freight operations back on the Catskill Mountain Branch, they were talking about maybe having a short line be called the Esopus Valley Railroad. So that is kind of my mishmash of ideas for the name. A massive grade of like 5%. I don't, you know, that wouldn't be realistic, so I probably wouldn't do that. This is looking pretty nice, though. What makes this really difficult, though, is the way that the sun is. It's always going to be on the same side of the trains, since we're running east and west. So this just kind of reminds me of Hunter, if you're still here, like kind of going back towards Cornell Street behind all those city buildings and stuff like that off of Broadway. And that did not trigger, which is interesting. So this TRC thing is kind of buggy still, or maybe it's buggy in this latest version, because I did have this one set up. Theoretically, it should have. Oh, we should probably decide what track we're going to come in on. Let's stop, maybe, if we can stop just short of this crossing here. Picturing the conductor's got to get out and go switch those tracks. We'll be blocking this crossing. It's not too bad. So we would come in, I guess we could come in. So now you see what the problem is here, is that when we pull in, we only really have one runaround. I mean, I guess we can come in. We'll come in on this track. Because then the only other escape that we're gonna have is through this parking lot. Which I'm gonna say is strongly discouraged because of the main line down here. We're gonna call this a busy main line. J Street Terminal would be really cool, actually. I was thinking of doing like Bush Terminal, in that area. So maybe that would be another future project, or that's definitely gonna be another future project. I have on the bookshelf behind me, I've got a book on all of the harbor railroads down in New York City. So it'd be really cool to recreate that. The Mad Junkyard Dog, yeah, I gotta get that guy in there too. Catch you later, Mitchell. Thanks for hanging. Yeah, we're gonna park this train, we're gonna tie it down, and then we're gonna call it quits. Ooh, it is almost 9:30. Craig Bishop, yeah, there's switches here. They don't have flags on them. Yeah, this is gonna look really nice when it's finally filled in and stuff like that. Get some more city buildings in the background, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this, man. I'm really excited for this route. Be coming along. Man, so you can imagine like what a pain this might be to drill some of these cars around here with really just 2 runarounds. You know, if this was populated with a whole bunch of inbound cars and these are our outbound cars, it could get really messy in here. Andrew, no, we don't have any snow. The only snow that's on the ground is the snow that's been here all winter and hasn't had the chance to melt. So nothing fresh though, which is great. Hopefully it'll all melt soon. Will there be sessions for this route? I mean, hopefully. Let me finish the route first. All right, so let's see. We're gonna run around this guy because we want to tie it down, you know, back at our like engine shed area. Man, we're just taking off. Slow down, dude. Oh, you guys got a foot in Jersey? Ugh. No fun. I'm done with the snow, man. We've even got some, from that nice warm day we had a couple weeks ago, we have some flowers poking up out of the ground. Or like the tulips, all the leaves and stuff. They're starting to come out. Came out a little bit too soon, I think. They're covered in snow. But they're ready. I'm ready for springtime too. Summertime. The switch that I have here is invisible, by the way. Just because in real life it would probably be one of those, I forgot what they call them. It's a special kind of switch that they put in tracks that are like street running tracks. They use like a crowbar to switch them. So I don't think that there's an accurate switch stand version for Trainz to do that. So I just used an invisible one. Oh, come on. Unlock the stupid switch. There we go. Why don't I backdate the scenery on this instead of updating the scenery on the PNB? Because I wanted to use new scenery. I want to use new stuff. That's why. The idea, the reason I was really anxious to get started on this is not just because it was an idea that's been floating around in my head for a while, but there's so many new assets that are out there. All these new JR assets, and there's lots of really nice new stuff that takes advantage of Tane, and that's what I want to be using that. So I was anxious to get my hands on it and get going. Yeah, this will be interesting to switch once it starts getting really busy. And I hope that there's enough tracks here. Otherwise, it's going to be really interesting if I put too many industries, or if I say that the amount of loads inbound or outbound are higher than the capacity of this little tiny yard here. It's going to get fun. I might have to add like another runaround in here somewhere. But that's okay. I mean, I like the way that it is right now. I like the layout of it. I tried to think it through. I had everything kind of outlined in my notebook and been pre-planning it for a little bit. I even did like a little track chart. So hopefully that'll help me keep things sort of organized. But I mean, I didn't really think too much about car capacity. Like I did for the yard, but I didn't think about like, oh, this industry is going to have this many carloads of stuff, you know, coming in or going out. It's maybe whatever. It's all a learning experience, you know. Oops, I got to put it in reverse. It's all a learning experience. The double track main should be a Canadian Pacific main line. That could be interesting. Honestly, I'm not. The main line could be whatever you want. I don't really, you know, I'm more concerned about what's going on this section. So whatever the main line is, I mean, you could probably run whatever tickles your fancy. Heading through the weeds, heading over to the terminal over here. Like I think the backdrop over here, not the backdrop, but the city down this way is going to be more high density. Oops. Sometimes it does this. The camera just jumps. So more like taller office buildings, more downtown-y kind of stuff. I think would be a nice backdrop to be like looking down towards. Kind of set the scene a little bit more. What's up, Sean Dean? Oh man, you got here just in time for me to be wrapping this up. I'll do a final overview though. Since we're in like driver mode right now, we don't have to look at all the spline points and stuff like that. So yeah, this will be our final sort of like engine storage space, which is just the final section of track that used to be a diamond with the main track over here. There's also a disconnected second track as well, but we'll just do like a little fly through for anybody who kind of popped in late. Early on, I was playing around with this idea with the roads here, where instead of using regular road assets, I tried using this decal, spline decal. So this is actually not a regular road, so I just used the texturing, asphalt texturing, and then put the marking down it. Same with this white line here. I really like the effect. I think that it looks good. Just not sure how to deal with like grade crossings and intersections and stuff like that. But let me clear the screen. So yeah, we'll just fly down, take one final look before we wrap it up. Lots of like abandoned industry looking places, and I really like the lighting and the shadows and stuff like that. It really looks nice. Fuel truck where the engine would be refueled. That's a cool idea. I like that. Lots of buried track. I want to add some more details to this scrapyard. It feels a little plain, but still, you know, some of this stuff is kind of roughed in. Almost everything is subject to change. Fly back here, have a couple, this is supposed to be like an abandoned lot, you know, building crumbled sort of deal, or was demolished. And then this park, I really like this park. And I really like the way that the track looks along the edge of the park. It reminds me of something, but I'm not really sure what. Maybe something from a past life, I don't know. And then I really like the way that this park came out. I think if I could find, or if somebody has like basketball player people, or people playing tennis that aren't like the cardboard cutout looking ones, I would definitely like to add those. I definitely plan on adding people to this, unlike on the P&B where there's like 8 people total. So this will have, I have to add some people just to, I want this to feel really busy and feel like a real busy downtown area. And I just want there to be a lot of contrast between operating in here in the downtown area versus once you get out to the countryside. And I just want it to be a noticeable difference between population and everything like that. But I think that's gonna do it for today, guys. For tonight, I'm thinking about doing another stream tomorrow night. Are you guys down for that? It might be a little bit later because I'm gonna have to do a bunch of chores and stuff like that when I get home from work. But I'm thinking in the evening I might do another live stream. We'll do some more work on this, and hopefully you guys will be down for that. But that's gonna do it for today. My wife is on her way home from work, so I gotta wrap it up. All right, well, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for all your suggestions, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. So hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Keep an eye on my Twitter. Oh, well, let me put a thing in here for the Discord for anybody new. I always forget how to do this. Copy. Here's the Discord. Hop on if you're not already on there. But that's gonna do it for today. So thanks for hanging out, dudes. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you soon. Something like that. Later.